Yeah, so that inspiration and that post in particular came from a real conversation where I knew that I was speaking to a man who was not going to listen to me, and I was like, "I'm gonna just shut up and go write about this." So, the best way for me to explain what Thumos is to take a look at the Chariot card from the Rider-Waite Smith tarot deck. So, for those of you who are listening to this podcast and can't see it, I'll describe the card for you. There are two sphinxes. There's a black sphinx and a white sphinx, and in between them, there is a man who is going on a chariot covered with stars. So the stars are above him, the moon is on his shoulders, and there's a spinning top, interestingly, between the two sphinxes. This card is a representation of the allegory by Plato called the Chariot. And this represents the three parts of the soul. So there are the appetites, which is the dark horse. This is the animal soul, the soul that wants to eat, sleep, and have sex. Again, there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of our nature. Then there are the higher aspirations of the soul, which is reason, nous. That's the middle character here. And then there is the white sphinx, which represents the masculine or the logical side. The ancient Greeks would call this the Apollonian versus the Dionysian is a great example of that. So thumos is what happens when your soul sees the imbalance in these sphinxes and it wants to correct it. This righteous anger. I personally have felt this anger for over a decade, maybe a little bit longer than that. And this was about watching truth with a capital T and those four pillars we talked about become bastardized, become diluted, seeing people stop thinking for themselves and following nothing but trends just because they're afraid of being disliked.